A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Handoff comes to Cook, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Now Mond.
Buying time to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body.
Picked off by Bless on Austin. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. On 1st down, it's Ford. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Caught left side, it's Beckham.
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle. But collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the left side. Ford, after getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll try and run for it with Ford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game.
And the Bears are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
A give. This is Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Mond out of the shotgun. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A play fake, now Fields to throw.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll try the left side. Ford. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Fields. Flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And the lead moves to 10-zip. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Cook following the penalty. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Mond now off of play action.
Dancing, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Mon going to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Pulled in at the 24. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
I need to get my swag
Touchdown,
right
Chicago. A big play there. 63 yards.
And the Bears are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but don't let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Mon's throw here pulled in by Galladay.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Here's Mon.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Bears will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Nifty running by Beckham. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Mike Edwards picks it off.
Breaks through the contact.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
Come on now, let's make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen. It's time.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Oh, we got plenty.
Touchdown, Chicago.
Darnell Mooney.
81 yards.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
87 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Off the play fake, Mon.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
On 1st down, Fields.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Second and 10, Fields again.
Escaping the pressure right.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Again, Fields.
Over the middle to Beckham.
And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll try the left side. It's 4th. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On the ground, it's Ford. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown at his NFL debut. And the Bears continue to pour it on. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They go play action here. Mon. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And the return will stop right around the 25. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in what.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They snap it to Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mon looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll They'll say no, it was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. Cook. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he works his way forward for about 4, up to the midfield stripe. On play action, Fields. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Bears are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here. At home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cook. And this will be a Vikings 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a run with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
A good run there by Cook on 1st down, powering his way forward, a gain of 6. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Koo able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll run on first down. Ford.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. They run with Ford. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
This is Ford. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd down, Cook. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarter.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Bears, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.